Hi guys, welcome to Dubs Only Sports. This is episode 26. Before we get into anything, make sure to follow us on our social medias. We've got Twitter, we've got TikTok, we've got Instagram at Dubs Only Sports. And also make sure to catch the full videos on our YouTube and our Spotify. You can just search up Dubs Only Sports in the search bar. Getting straight into it, Champions League, Valentine's Day. You couldn't ask for a more romantic setting. I know what I'm doing with my date, and that is watching Tottenham AC Milan because I need Tottenham to get a dub that day. All right. I know when we were doing predictions at the beginning of the year, I said that AC Milan were going to win the Champions League. I obviously don't believe that. Like, just to get that out there, like, I was just throwing a team up in the air just to throw a team up in the air, you know? Honestly, I don't know who's going to win the Champions League. It's just so awful right now. Like, there are just so
No.
many things going wrong. I mean, PSG is losing players on like a daily basis, it seems. So, we're gonna get into it. What have you got for me, Dylan? What are we going to be discussing?
Let's start off with PSG Bayern. I mean, this is kind of annoying because like Mbappe just got hurt, so like it kind of just ruined the game. But I mean, I honestly I don't think that PSG is gonna win, but I'm gonna pick them to win because I want them to win and I picked them to win before. But I think that Bayern's the better team. They're a little more healthy. I know that Neuer got hurt, but they replaced him with Summer, so they're fine at goalie now. They have a ton of good players with like Alphonso Davies, Musiala, Mueller. So I think that they'll I think that they're the better team, but I'm just banking on Mbappe coming back in the second leg and just absolutely dominating the game and square like a hat trick and winning in Bayern. So I don't know, dude. I mean, it's a sketch pick. I don't actually truly believe it, but I think that PSG is gonna find a way to come through and hopefully make it to the round of eight.
Yeah, I mean, PSG's, like I said, they've been dealing with injuries. So, it's definitely they're dealing with a lot of adversity right now, and Mbappe being such a crucial part, despite the fact that they have Messi and Neymar on their team already. So, it's just it's gonna be very hard for them. But Bayern Munich, as we know, they're literally the only undefeated team. Yes, I understand that it's from the group stages, and their group is like horrid, but
They were in a good group, bro. They were in a good group, but they made them look horrid. That's the thing. Like they just, dude, they were with Barca and Inter, and they just still dominated. Bro. It was crazy.
Barca, okay, pause.
Barca's winning, dude. Barca's winning La Liga, bro. I don't want to hear your crap, dude.
Yeah,
Barca's a
but
good
La
team. They
Liga,
just,
I can't even name like four teams in the league. Like, to be
dude,
fair,
shut up, dude. The Prem is overrated. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, dude.
best place to
Prem's
play
not even gonna win the
football.
Champions League, bro. They're not even gonna win the
Oop.
Champions League, so it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. So, yeah. But moving on to the more important game of that day, we've got
What are you
Tottenham.
talking? Oh my
We've
God.
got AC Milan, baby. I mean,
You're the fan. Go first. Go first.
it's gonna be a draw. It's gonna be 1-1. That's it. That's all I got. Take the
Who's
under
gonna win the
and take the
tie,
draw.
bro? Who's gonna win the tie though?
In the
Who
second
cares about this
leg,
game? No, like who's gonna win the whole thing on
gonna
aggregate?
win the Tottenham. I mean, well,
Why?
okay.
Why are they gonna win?
So AC Milan, I watched them play. Who was this that I watched them play? Oh, the Red Bull team,
Dude, why would they
Salzburg.
play? No, why would AC? Oh my God.
Anyways, I watched that game and AC. Okay, like again, like I had AC Milan winning the Champions League. They're clearly not going to win the Champions League. All right, if I had to pick a team to win the Champions League right now, I'd have to go like Napoli or something. Like I just don't know because PSG. Like obviously they're like heavy favorites with like the team they have, and if Mbappe comes back, then like like odds are, but like usually like that's just not the case. Like as much as you want like the easy ride team to just like win it all, just sometimes doesn't happen. So for for me personally, why not go Napoli?
I thought we were talking about Tottenham a lot. What did you say?
We are like, and then we got past that because Tottenham they're gonna win that leg, so it's okay.
Tottenham's gonna not win. Oh my God,
They're
bro.
gonna win
I
in the
mean,
round of
no,
16.
Tottenham's probably gonna beat Milan because like I don't know, Milan's been struggling. Both these teams have been struggling. They're both mid
Tottenham
teams.
just beat Man City. What do you mean we're
Okay, but
struggling?
okay, what happened before that? What happened before that? You lost to
We
Arsenal.
don't. Whoa.
Come
Arsenal's a
on.
good team. Arsenal's top of the
Oh my
league.
God.
Chill. We
Okay,
only lost by
fine,
how many
fine.
goals?
They're
One.
str they okay, they're struggling. They're struggling less
And
than
who did who
Milan.
did
So
who
I
did
mean,
Arsenal lose to? Remember that.
Everton, bro. That's true. That's true. So that was kind of yeah. So this shows that you're bad. So I don't get your point, but it's fine. No, I think that Tottenham's gonna beat Milan. I mean the second leg's in Tottenham. They have Harry Kane. They have Son. They have all these guys. So I feel like just the attacking power is gonna be too much for Milan. I think that Milan's mid. They don't have Zlatan, so he's hurt. So
Gelatin.
Zlatan. So Tottenham and PSG no, are gonna win those things. And
In the
then what's the
final.
next game? Oh my God, that's
Um,
like it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
next game is Club Brugge against Benfica.
Yeah, honestly, in this game, I think that or in this tie, I think that Benfica is gonna win and move on to the round of eight. I mean, both these teams are not very big teams. We got Benfica, who is usually like a solid team, but they've lost some of their guys. They just lost Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea. So I feel like even with some of their key losses, I still think that Benfica is a better team than Club Brugge. They play in a better league. They face deeper competition, and they've been good for the last few years. I mean, they had Darwin Nunez. Now they now they had Enzo Fernandez. They've lost them, of course, because they're going to go to bigger clubs, but
Mm-hmm.
they develop guys well, and I think that they'll beat Club Brugge.
Yeah, and I feel like you compare the two groups that they're in. Club Bruges is just like you like the group that they're in is like nothing like special. So and
Who's
they're
in their
still
group?
it was Porto, Leverkusen, and Atletico.
So yeah, I mean they did well to get out of that group, but like they're kind of a small team. In their
They
last
only
five
won three
games,
games.
yeah, that's the thing. They only won three games. It was kind of a mid group. I mean, it wasn't a good group that they were in, and they out of their last five games, they've drawn four of them. So they're like and not even a good league. So I think that just Benfica is gonna be able to beat them pretty easily.
Yeah. And then after that, we've got Dortmund and Chelsea. Oh my days.
Dortmund and Chelsea. Okay, this is a very interesting one because I think
How is
that
this an interesting one?
well, just because Chelsea has decided to sign every single player in Europe, they
That
just are
doesn't
like,
matter.
but it's just funny because like Chelsea thinks that like I don't know, they think they're the Padres or something, but they're just signing every single player in the market. They signed Enzo Fernandez, they signed Jao Felix, they signed Mudrik, they signed all these different guys, and they're still mid. They're still so mid. So like I don't understand what Todd Bowley thinks he's doing. This is not the MLB. He's like a Dodgers owner. So I don't hear all this crap. But to get into it more, like I still think that like Chelsea has to win this. I don't even think that they're a better team. I just think that with all the signings that they have to win this. I know that Dortmund has some good players. They have Haller, they have Gio Reyna, they have Jude Bellingham, who's an absolute monster. But I mean, they've been playing well in the Bundesliga. They have five straight wins. Chelsea has not been playing good, but this is more me saying that Chelsea needs to win this than Dortmund is. Like, I actually think that right now Dortmund's playing better, but I just think that Chelsea needs to win this tie because with all the signings that they have, you can't sign every single player in Europe and then just like lose in the first round of the Champions League when you won the Champions League 2 years ago and you still have a ton of they Chelsea could literally field two Champions League teams and you're telling me that they can't make it out of the round of 16. So Chelsea better win this. Dortmund's playing better right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dortmund win this. The first leg is in Germany, so we'll see. Dortmund might win the first game, but the next leg is in a month, and maybe Chelsea will be able to figure it out a little bit. And I have Chelsea winning this.
I mean, I just want to point out that Chelsea played with a completely different team in the group stages.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like a totally different team. Just signed like they literally signed a whole new team.
That's why, like, like I don't know any of the experience of these players when it comes to the Champions League. Like, I like, and especially against a team like Dortmund, who they like obviously like don't play unless it's in the Champions League. I just feel like Chelsea's kind of been set up for failure here. I feel like, maybe like if they had like won their group and then played one of like the second place teams in the other groups, then maybe it'd be okay for them. Like I feel like if Chelsea were to play someone like Tottenham per se, like I feel like they would do a better job against that than they would against Dortmund.
Maybe. I don't know.
And
Maybe.
and then the next one, we've got a bit of a classic, Liverpool and Real Madrid. Who have you got?
Okay, so last year when the Champions League final was coming around, I thought that Liverpool was going to win for sure because they were last year they were such a superior team to Madrid. It's just that Madrid last year had magic like no other. I mean, that run that they had was crazy to beat PSG and come back, to come back against Chelsea, to come back against Man City in the semis and then to beat Liverpool in the final when Liverpool almost won a quadruple. I mean, it was just absolutely unreal what Madrid did last year. But this year, tides have turned. Madrid is still one of the best teams in Europe, and Liverpool is absolutely terrible. They came out with a stat that if VAR didn't exist, that Liverpool would be in the relegation race in the Premier League. That's how bad Liverpool have been this year. I don't even think they're in the top 10 right now. They're just totally struggling in the Premier League. And I just think that this is the Champions League. This is Real Madrid's home. This is what they're known for. They've won 14 times. Real is going to beat Liverpool. This is as sure thing to a lock as I've ever seen. I mean, Liverpool can't beat Wolves. They can't beat Brentford. They can't beat all these terrible teams. You think they're going to go to Madrid and win in the second leg? 0% chance. The first leg is in Liverpool. I think it might be a closer game, but I still think that Madrid's going to win both games. I think that they'll probably win like 5 or 6-2 on aggregate. I think that they're a superior team right now. If this was last year, it would be a totally different discussion, but it's just the way that Liverpool is playing right now is pathetic. They should be embarrassed with how they're. I mean, they still have good players. It's just so embarrassing that they're playing this badly. So I got Madrid all day, every day in this round.
Yeah. Same here. I mean, like Liverpool, like you said, not Liverpool, Real Madrid, like you said last year, they just went on like a miraculous run against teams like PSG and even against teams like Liverpool. So, like I just feel like this year, like Liverpool were kind of set up to fail. I mean, they've had, like people like Salah and a lot of the people around Salah for like years now. And I feel like it's about time for them to like start rebuilding or at least like change or switch some things up because it's clearly
They
not
needed to make
working.
some adjustments. Yeah, they've
they're
had a
they're
ton of
living in the
injuries.
past. They're
Yeah,
living in the past when they were like easily going through the Champions League, where they were easily going
yeah,
through the Premier League, and
yeah,
they just need to get off that bandwagon for a little bit, be humbled, and just realize that the team isn't what they were like 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, Real
yeah,
Madrid all day without a doubt in my mind, home or away. I just think Real Madrid is winning, and then we've
yeah,
got Frankfurt. We've got Napoli at Frankfurt
yeah,
in the first leg, and then
yeah.
Frankfurt at Napoli in the second. But who is going to win the leg,
Okay.
the round?
Okay, so I think that okay, so last year Frankfurt won the Europa League. They're a good team, but they're not like anything special. I mean, they're just a solid Bundesliga team.
Mm,
Napoli, on the other hand, has kind of come out of nowhere this year. This year they're
yeah.
absolutely dominating Serie A. They're like 13 points ahead of the second place team in Serie A. They're playing amazing. They don't have any like big name like players, but they just play really well as a team. They score a ton of goals. I remember in the group stages they just absolutely throttled Liverpool and it was just like a stunner. And everyone through Europe was like, "Oh my God, what happened?" They just dismantled a good Liverpool team at the time. So I think that in this tie, I think that Napoli is going to win. They've been the superior team all year. I think Frankfurt's a good team. They might have a close first leg because it's in Frankfurt, but I just think that overall, second leg being in Napoli, Napoli's playing really well as a team. They have an identity. The Napoli fans are going to be hyped because this is like the first time they're relevant since Maradona. So it's big good times in Napoli. I think that Napoli are going to win this tie. And genuinely, I know that they don't have the star power that other teams might have, but I think that they can make a run in this Champions League. I mean, I would not be surprised. This year is very open. A lot of the top teams are not playing well or are injured, and I think that this is a big year that like Napoli could win the Champions League potentially. This is kind of
Hmm.
reminds me of like when Porto won the Champions League or when Inter won the Champions League, where like it's kind of open. It's kind of a free for all right now. There's not any like one specific team that's just dominating. So I think that Napoli could have a big year this year, and I'm gonna go with Napoli over Frankfurt in this tie.
Yeah, I mean, I can wholeheartedly like you said, seeing Napoli going all the way and winning the Champions League this year. I mean, they just like so dominant in the group stages, and then for Serie A, like you were talking about, they're just doing very good. And Italian football recently has just become like very dominant for absolutely no reason. Like it's just made a surge, and for Napoli to be like one of the consistent contending teams in that league and amongst a group of great teams, it just goes to show. And I just feel like, like Frankfurt is a little bit of a slap in the face for them. Like they need more competition. And
Yeah.
although it is the first round and it's only the round of 16, yes, they will be faced with tougher obstacles depending on how the brackets end up. But I do feel like Napoli gets the job done easily and move on to the next round.
Well, it's just crazy because like the Italian football, like in the early 2000s, was dominant. They had AC,
Yeah.
Juventus, they had all these teams, and then for the last whatever like 10 years, it's kind of been a no show. I mean, they've had Juventus there a few times. Inter's
Yeah.
been decent, but it's kind of been a no-show. And then like even last year, I don't know like all the teams in the I don't even know if a team from Italy made it to the knockout stage of the Champions League. But
Hmm.
this year, Napoli looks like a good team. They look like a potential threat in the Champions League. So I feel like that's good for Italian football.
Yeah.
I mean, Inter is still in there, but I still think that Napoli is probably the team with the most potential to go far in the tournament from Italy. So
Yeah.
Napoli's been very good. And then moving on to Inter versus Porto, who you got?
I mean, this is very much like I've touched this because I feel like the teams are both like pretty like not like evenly matched up, but like relatively like decent, you could say.
Huh?
But if I'm choosing a team on the spot, I'm probably gonna go with Porto. To be fair, they've kind of look. I can't say that I've been watching Porto and that I'm like an avid Porto watcher, but like like I have seen some clips and I have seen some highlights, and they look pretty decent. And the fact that they've come to the round of 16, they've made it out of the group stages. I feel like that says a lot. Again, being one of those teams in the Italian football league or in the Italian league where
Serie A,
you know
Serie A.
yeah, just the fact that again it's just like
Inter.
recently they've like it's been like it's been very much up in the air. I don't really know how
Yeah,
I feel about Serie A yet. It's just like you said, they're just like up and coming. So to like judge the
yeah.
teams coming out of there, it's just very it's very iffy.
Iffy.
But
Yeah,
if I'm picking a team on spot, I feel like Porto away the first game and then going home in the second leg, I feel like that might do them some justice. And I feel like, if ever you're betting on Champions League football, I always find that, like going for the team that's home second
yeah,
is
yeah,
typically the way to go. So I'm
yeah.
gonna go. I'm gonna go
That's
Porto
true.
on this round.
Yeah, this one's a tough one. I feel like it's gonna be close because these teams are both like solid teams, nothing special, nothing.
Yeah.
They're not bad teams either, but they're just solid teams. But I'm just gonna go with Inter on this one. I think that they have a little more talent, a little more experience. They have some good players. They have Lautaro Martinez. They have Dzeko. They have some guys, and last few years they've been pretty good. I mean, they beat Barca twice, I think, this year in the group
Hmm.
stage,
Yeah.
which was a surprise because they went to Barca when Barca needed to win and they won that game. So I feel like Inter's pretty good. They have some as you said, they're kind of up and down. They have some really good performances and they have some bad performances. They just beat Milan, so or they just beat AC Milan last week.
Mhm.
So I just think that the momentum that they have, they've had like a few iffy games, but I feel like overall they've been pretty good, and I feel like they'll be able to win this tie. And I don't know if they'll go far after that. I don't think they will, but I feel like they'll be able to win the round of 16 match against Porto and move on to the round of eight.
Yep. And then the last game in the round of 16, we've got Leipzig, we've got Man City. You love Erling Haaland. You've been loving Man City.
Mhm.
Um, you had PSG winning the Champions League, but with
Yeah,
Mbappe being injured and your
yeah.
mindset changing about PSG, could we see? Because Man City, I feel like it's safe to say they're obviously going to win this round, right? Pretty
We should get
obvious.
no, yeah. I think that Man City is going to beat Leipzig. Leipzig's actually a solid team. Like they're not a bad team at all.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Mhm.
Man City needs to win this. Come on, like they just had these allegations come out that they've had money issues for the like they've been using like they haven't been keeping their books correctly for the last like 10 years and they've been like basically committing fraud. So for the last 10 years they had all that drama. They better win this tie because they need to win the Champions League eventually. They haven't won it yet, and
Mhm.
with the talent that they have, they better win. So, I mean, I feel like it's safe to say they'll beat Leipzig. They haven't been playing great. They just lost to Tottenham in a terrible performance, but
Who said it would
I don't know.
happen?
You said it was going to happen. I was not thinking that, but I mean, Man City has not been as good this year with Erling Haaland as they were last year without Erling Haaland. So I'm a little worried about that, but Erling Haaland's playing great. It's not his fault. It's just that the team as a whole is not playing great. And but I
Mhm.
mean, with the talent that they have, they better beat Leipzig.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest downfall with Man City is that it is so like it's such a simple formula in order to beat them. And it is literally just guard Holland as if your life depends on it. I mean, you look at
And
the
then play on
Tottenham
then
game.
you got to play on the counter. Like if you play on the
Yeah.
counter against them, they can't like stop that like at all. Like they were the whole time they were in Tottenham's half, and then whenever Tottenham got the ball, they would just score because they had no
Yeah.
back line. I mean, Man City's back line played terrible. Last year they actually had a good defense. This year
Yeah.
on the counter, they're just getting killed. So
They're
yeah,
just
I mean,
relying because they're relying so heavily. Like you look at the Man City
yeah,
games and the games where they score a lot, they also like there are some games where they give up a lot. Like there are a lot of like
yeah.
3-2, 2-1 like matches
They
between
beat
Man
you the
City.
first time. The first time they beat you was Tottenham was up 2-0 at halftime, and then
Yeah,
Man City won 4-2. It just because the thing is they don't use their team right because Pep has a system and he's committed to the system, but they have new players, so they need to adjust their system, but they haven't adjusted. They have Holland, who's great at running down the field and being a vertical threat, and they don't use him as a vertical threat. They just pack the box and hope that he can use his skill to get a goal. But if they
yeah,
use some more vertical runs, I feel like they would be a lot better. It would keep their back line farther back and they would play better defense. So I feel like they need to make some adjustments before they go into the Champions League because they can't stink it up again. Because if they stink it up again, it's going to be really bad for them. But yeah, I mean, they better be like yeah. Again, as I said, they better beat Leipzig. They better.
yeah. So Champions League is back. We're finally in the basically the playoff stages, if you were to call
Yeah.
it that. We're going to be covering it as it goes along after the round of 16, we'll then do the round of 8, and then keep going down the list until we get to the final bout. At this point, no idea who it could be. I like,
Name like
I
your top three teams that are going to win it.
my top 3 teams are probably Napoli. I kind of like a good underdog story in like Real Madrid.
Underdog.
I mean, there are some teams that, Real Madrid
No,
should
there are.
not beat.
That is true. That is true. I mean, I don't think. I think that the favorites, if you go on the list of favorites, it's like Bayern, Man City, PSG, all those
Yeah,
teams. But I feel like Man City, Real Madrid is not considered like the top favorite, but they're definitely
exactly.
like at least top four because
Yeah.
their history and yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I think the top three teams to win this are probably. I feel like out of these three teams, one of them will win it. I think it's going to be Bayern. It's kind of hard to say PSG now because of the injuries. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna if they get healthy and they beat Bayern, things change. But I'm gonna say
Yeah, because they're
probably
matching up in the round of 16.
yeah,
You're already choosing
yeah,
2 teams that are playing each
yeah.
other.
No, so I'm gonna say right now I think that Bayern, City, and Napoli are probably one of those teams will probably win it unless PSG gets healthy. I know I picked PSG and I still want them to win and I still
Yeah.
think that they can win. But it's if they don't get healthy, then they're not gonna win.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the powerhouses, but I'd like to see Real Madrid there. I like Napoli, and if I'm forced to choose a third, I'd probably go Bayern just because they've been so dominant. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. I've got something stuck in my throat, but that is okay. Make sure to follow us on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Dubs Only Sports, and then you can catch full episodes on YouTube and Spotify by just typing in Dubs Only Sports in the search bar. Um, yeah, that's going to be doing it. Again, we're going to be following the Champions League as it slowly dies down and we finally have a winner to crown. But until then, we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out, guys.